part of my role actually in the project is trying to engage the community and inform them about the project. So I am a teacher at the Martha's Vineyard Regional High School. I teach biology, and this past year in a science research course that I teach, my students and I actually studied the research proposal of Dr. Esvelt at MIT, and we went to MIT, we visited his lab, and we kind of delved really deep into the science behind the project. And we created a pamphlet that is going to be going out to our community that explains the science at just the right depth so that they can understand the project, not get bogged down by too many of the sciencey details, but be informed enough so that our community can be engaged in this project and informed so that if the time comes where we need to vote on the project, people will have the information that they need.
How long before the test run is done?
That's pretty hard to say. I think even right now, scientists who are working on the project would probably hedge at giving any type of exact date. However, I can say that the soonest possible release date, if everything were to go perfectly, is still many years into the future, 5 or 6 years into the future.
So that's the test run, and then you have to add several years on before the project would get underway on Martha's Vineyard.
Right now, they're saying that the soonest possible release of the mice, if everything went perfectly, the soonest possible release on Martha's Vineyard would be 2024. So it's a bit in the future, but we're just trying to do everything we can now to inform the citizens, the people in our community, so that we can be asking the right questions along the way.
And once this is enacted, assuming that it is, how many generations of mice have to be reproduced before there's an impact?
I think it's going to be pretty quick. I think if we move forward, because of the short generation time of mice, I think that within a couple of years, we would be able to see the results of this project.
By short generation time, you mean reproducing. The mice have a short period of gestation?
Yeah, they have a short period of gestation, but I think they also do reproduce every 2.5 months. So they're very quick. They're very good at reproducing and passing on their genes.
And do you know what the penetration of Lyme disease is on Martha's Vineyard now?
I do not have those numbers for you. I know they're out there somewhere, and I just can say it's bad. I mean, if you were to go to Martha's Vineyard and just take a random sampling of people and ask them, how has your life or someone have you been affected by Lyme, or has someone been affected by Lyme? I think you'd be hard pressed to find anybody on the island that hasn't been affected by Lyme disease in some way.
How are the students going to be engaged on this?
So already the students have been engaged in a couple different ways. Last year, after my AP biology class, we actually studied the proposal, the Mice Against Ticks proposal, and we invited Dr. Kevin Esvelt to our high school to give a presentation, which was very well accepted and embraced by our student community, and we were able to ask him questions about the project. So that was a year ago now. And then this current year, I've been engaging students again in my science research course. We've visited MIT and seen the lab where this research is being done. We've been studying his proposal and creating an informational pamphlet that is endorsed by Tufts and MIT and Harvard and the scientists working on the project. And we're also going to be giving a talk at one of our local libraries and kind of debuting the informational pamphlet and sharing what we've learned about the project with our community. It should be a little bit different than when the scientists come to Martha's Vineyard to give their presentations, because this particular presentation will be given by students, and I think will be kind of at a level that reaches a lot more of the population.